Welcome to the Wisdom Talk with Wayne Kealohi Powell. Beautiful interview. Let's start to listen and drink in his music to get a sense to the spirit of Aloha and the language of the heart that he's bringing beautiful sound. Welcome, Wayne Kealohi Powell. I'm glad to meet you here and introduce you with the richness that you bring to the table and that you will offer here in Germany for the first time, which I'm super excited and grateful for. That in May this land may welcome you, traveling from coming from Kauai through the United Kingdom over to Germany. And for those who haven't met you yet, I would like to introduce you because you bring so much. You're the founder and the instructor of the Hawaiian Shamanic Bodywork. We will hear a lot about that. Which holds as well you as being an applied kinesiologist and author of 4 books almost. You're the founder of the Global Ho'oponopono Alliance. We will hear also about more Ho'oponopono. And of course, we already heard that you're a songwriter and a musician from the heart. And actually, this is your biggest first love. And I'm so glad that we started our conversation with your music. You are you entered the shamanic bodywork mostly of the Hawaiian culture already 4 decades ago, which is a long way, and you had so many teachers and kumus that you drank off and filled yourself of, and so I'm just so glad and grateful to learn from you and what you create from that source. And not to forget, you're a father and a grandfather and a dear friend of so many, and a reverend, not to forget that. So if there's anything I forgot to mention which is important, please, the word's yours now. And maybe just, I'm Monika Ananda Wiese. I'm happy to welcome and host you here in Germany.
Well, first and foremost, Monika Ananda, mahalo nui loa. Thank you for putting this together and inviting me to Germany, because I am really excited to come bring what I carry to your tribe, very much so. And, that was a really good introduction, very thorough. Thank you. And yes, I'm in love with this work. I'm in love with music, in love with the Aloha spirit, in love with life itself. And all of what I do is about that. It's about reflecting to people the love that they are in a body. And we all
that brings it all together, right? The love that we are in a body. embodied love. So yeah.
And that's what all the work is about, whether I'm singing a song, whether I'm doing a sacred apology or a Lomi Lomi, or teaching Haipule, the prayer meditation for manifestation, whatever it is, it's all about alignment,
Mm.
alignment with that love in a deeper sense of experiencing it rather than just intellectualizing it.
Mm. Right. Beautiful. Yeah. So, so if you speak about alignment, and I see that gesture, so that involves like all the levels that we are in, like all the bodies that we are. Is that what I understand? Like the physic. Of course, I think to experience physical alignment, if we ever have felt kind of disbalance in our bodies, which I think we all know, um, and the relief that it brings when we after a yoga or a dance or a Lomi Lomi massage treatment. I think we all know that relief that it brings, and the inner freedom and the exhale and the more spacious. But I imagine if you speak about the sacred apologies and the inner light and the alignment, so there's more to align and more that can be out of balance.
Indeed. And, you know, as most religions and spiritual paths, they acknowledge the trinity of us.
Mm.
And so Halemekua, the man that would have been the next king of Hawaii, he talks about it saying that we have three souls. And we have the ku is from the Kahili clan, called I call it the biocomputer of the body, is the soul that clings.
Mm. Clings to.
Clings. That's why it's so hard to let go. And it's primarily driven towards pleasure and running those patterns until it can't run them anymore.
Which we all experience now, right? We're in times where patterns don't work anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the intellect, which would be Lono in the Kahili system, which is the soul that speaks, the soul that thinks.
Mm.
And then in the Kahili system, the Amakua or Kane would be the oversoul. Um, and this is the soul that provides us with everything without judgment. So they each have their qualities. So when I speak about alignment, it is alignment with all three of our souls living in harmony in a way that brings synchronicity and serendipity naturally into more moments than we expect in
Mm.
our lives.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, and then this is, I would maybe also translate it into being present
Mm,
because it's non-judgmental, and
sure.
and we just like are present with what is without needing to hide away, push away, wanting to be different, but there's kind of permission to that what is, and with that permission, maybe an openness. And if there's an opening in the
Mm,
spirit and in the heart,
mm,
also like the body corresponds and opens and aligns.
mm.
Is that what you speak about?
Absolutely. And so, what we're looking at when we do a healing session, whether it's, a sacred apology for the mental, emotional state, bodies, or if it's a Lomi Lomi, deep tissue work for the physical body, we're looking at removing what doesn't belong that is hindering that alignment with our I am
Mm,
present. Yeah.
right.
And that is one name for it that has been given. through the Saint Germain Foundation is I am, which originates from the burning bush with Moses and all of that, which has showed up so many times in our culture as the light that is beyond this dimension, that leaks into this dimension to show us that we are more than our bodies and our minds. And there have been so many stories and legends about that in all the cultures. And so when we remove what doesn't belong between the ku, the lono, and the kane, unihipili, uhane, makua, when we remove what doesn't belong between the Trinity, there is this divine flow of experiencing us as light, as infinity in each moment, in a physical, mortal container.
Right.
So that's the trick, right? We are a part of this immortal existence of the cosmos in living in a very mortal experience of it.
Right.
That's the challenge.
And in this on this horizontal level, being human on this earth, I think so many of us, or in a collective, we experience the huge changes. Oh, your camera went off. But I can see the glowing of the sun behind you now. That's also beautiful. um, so I imagine, or I just find that so timely, that your work is just what so many of us need, and or what's so helpful for us to allow the big changes in our collectives, in our communities, in our work, in our relationships, in our physical bodies to come through, because we all know in a way that we are in big changes. We come just like on a crossroad where we may decide if we follow the love or the fear and the anxiety and the stress. Um, so I think this work is so needed at this time.
It's beautiful, Ananda, because that is the immortal experience. And it appears, from my perspective, as a kind of gravity, because, fear, doubt, insecurity, um, all of these things are a big part of living in this mortal container. Because the mortal container, it has an awareness that it is mortal. And there's reason for fear because it's not going to continue past a certain point. And it shows us through aging that this is going on, right? So there's a lot to fear for sure. And that's why I call it a kind of gravity, because you can't argue with gravity. I mean, gravity on the earth is what it is, and it's going to always be what it is, because the mother loves us that much that she's holding us so tightly to her body. And so we are going to be subject to all of these things. So that's the experience of the paradox, is that, well, what do we do about it? Well, we learn to um, elevate our consciousness, which pulls us out of the gravity into a realm that is above the horizon.
Right.
And as we feed that, we draw ourselves up into the third aspect of us in communion with Almakua. So we learn as practitioners, as you know, that this is where the work is done, is by us clearing ourselves enough to open ourselves to become a hollow bamboo or a hollow bone, to accept infinity, the consciousness of pure presence in the moment, to enter us. We breathe it into our heart, out our arms, and flood the body on the table with this light,
Mm,
this unconditional love. So as they're receiving this, we are also receiving it.
mm, yeah,
And so as we assist others to heal, we naturally heal.
beautiful, beautiful. So this is what you offer, or what's possible to experience and to dive in the course that you're the seminar that you're offering. Um, I think it's a super rich bundle that you packed. It's 5 days, and uh, I'm so excited to dive in, because it feels like a beautiful arrow of alignment, starting with maybe you would like to speak about it, but I just found it so beautifully uh, just brought together, starting with a ho'oponopono circle, so that
Mm.
I feel that we start with ourselves before
Mhm.
we put our hands, or if before we go in contact to heal others. First we clear ourselves.
Exactly.
And
You're
what
right.
follows then, or what more?
Ananda, this is the first time I've put all three of these together.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I saw, once again, there's the Trinity.
Mm,
I saw the perfect alignment of this course. What you said, absolutely. Everyone who has studied Heartworks with me in the world, I've done it as a 3-day training without the Ho'oponopono, and I've done it as a 4-day training with the Ho'oponopono. And people who have taken the 4-day with the Ho'oponopono clearing as the first day, in the closing circle, they say, oh my God, if we had not done that first day, I would have not had the healing I had in the class.
mhm,
So that showed me that those two belong together. And then adding the passive structural alignment was honoring the original tradition that I learned from Sherman Dudois about the Heartworks system. Because the Heartworks system, the Heartworks massage itself, is a lineage from a warrior clan on Maui, ancient.
mm,
And it was combined as one piece in a bone setting tradition.
right.
So the warriors back in the day, I mean, they had these clubs and these spikes. They didn't have guns, they just ripped, tore flesh and crushed bones, right? So the people, the warriors would come back and they would need repairing. Well, the heartwork system, which is what it's come to be called, being part of the bone setting tradition, what they did was they used the lymphatic flushing I'm going to teach you to soften and prepare the muscles so that the bones could be realigned.
Right.
And then after the bones were aligned, they would once again do the deep tissue lymphatic flushing. So that because after the bones were aligned, there was a little bit of tension
Mhm,
residue from having this chiropractic, if you will,
mhm,
done on the body. So it'd be massage, um, bone setting, and massage. And that's what this tradition is from.
right.
Um, yeah, so when Sherman was recruiting people for his work, he was open to receive people and teaching them the bone setting. But his criteria was, okay, you have to come and live with me for 5 years. And it's a $5,000 deposit, and let me know when you're ready.
Right. And this sounds to me like I hear still the word warrior is echoing, and heartworks. So it's kind of heart warrior
Mm,
for us in our time maybe now. So
mm,
just also aligning with the inner strength that is needed to go for what our heart calls us for. And
Mhm.
it's not, and sometimes we need that strength also to stand and
Mm.
to be there and to be in our presence and to fight for life, not against life, but for the life, for the light. And if we have some crushes or disbalances, then we first soften. We need to soften first. That
Mm.
what so speaks to me. So that we first have to may and are allowed and need to soften to
Yeah.
align. So that what
Yeah.
totally speaks to me.
And as you speak, I hear clearly that that's the feminine,
Hmm.
masculine, and then the feminine again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes sense to expedite healing. Absolutely. That little sandwich there of feminine, masculine, feminine. So what I did, I looked at Sherman's system. There's no way in raising a family of young ones that I could have gone and spent 5 years with him. So, and when I was living in Los Angeles, I was studying applied kinesiology and Touch for Health. And in those courses, they were teaching us how to align all of the structure using applied kinesiology and orthobionomy.
Hmm.
And ironically enough, it only took, a couple of days to learn that particular system once you had an idea of how to muscle test. And so in incorporating passive structural alignment from the body tune-up, which I've learned into this training, we're honoring the bone setting tradition with the massage combined. And then beginning with the forgiveness technology, it's a triple whammy.
Mm. Yeah. So to bring it together, there's the inner alignment and sacred apology at the beginning.
Yeah,
There's the bone setting,
yes.
and there's the Heartworks Lomi Lomi, which is very different from Lomi Lomi Nui. So for even if there are people Lomi practitioners, Heartworks hasn't been told or taught here in Germany, I think, before. So I never found any practitioner who's doing Heartworks. So
Yeah,
thank you for bringing that um, body of work here.
mm.
And so people are curious now when and where. So
Yeah.
maybe let's speak about these details as well. So it's May,
Well,
it's soon, it's coming soon in May.
it is,
And
it is,
also in Glastonbury, right?
yes, in Glastonbury, it'll be in 10 days.
Cool.
Um, yeah,
There's still spots available.
there are. There are a couple of spaces available in Glastonbury, the home of magic in England here. I'm here now, and it's unbelievable. The frequency here is like none other I've felt in the world. It's as powerful as being in Hanalei
Mm, wow.
or Mount Shasta.
Mm,
These vortexes of Lemurian transcendence, right? Glastonbury is a portal of magic with Chalice Well and all of that. I wanted to add one more piece to the idea of Heartworks, though, because um, I specifically chose those three modalities to bring to Germany because I know my teacher, my beloved sister, Susan Pettineo Floyd, has been coming to Europe, Central Europe, for 35 years. And so I chose art forms that she has not taught before.
mm,
That yeah, and so I did that specifically because I wanted to augment the training they've received already from the people that she's trained.
mm-hmm,
Um, and the biggest advantage that I find in this for practitioners is that when I was just doing temple style Lomi only for 8 years before I met Sherman, the sessions had to be at least 2.5 to 3.5 hours to get through all the deep joint rotations and go very slowly through the muscle tissues. And so I had to turn everyone away who said, "Oh, I only have an hour, I only have half an hour. Can you see me?" And I would smile and say, "Well, I could do maybe your upper back." But when I met Sherman and I saw But his art form, full body massage, front and back, 14 areas of the body, channeling the spirit of aloha through the waterfall of aloha, only through the heart and the hands. The whole thing takes place in 1 hour.
Mm.
I was like, I have a piece for those that only have an hour.
Yeah, which
Full
is
body massage.
super
Yes.
effective as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Very effective, deep tissue. So I wanted to add that because that's how you can augment your menu from being a Kahuna body worker into a Heartworks practitioner as well. And of course, being artists like we all are, right? Eventually, in the longer sessions, you blend the two really nicely. They don't have to be separate.
Of course. Yeah.
Like you can do the deep joint rotations and then flush the tissues past the joint and take out the trash.
Mm.
The two of them work really well together.
Mm. Wow, I can feel the yummy, I can feel the juice. I can't wait to. And I'm super looking for it because we have a beautiful location, a beautiful facilitation where we are. It's in South Germany, in Allgäu. It's Sonnenstrahl retreat center, a beautiful place which is surrounded by green, hilly landscapes, and it's a vegetarian place, and we have a warm pool. Oh, nice music, thank you. that brights that brights it all up. Um, yeah, so there's a
Yeah,
song,
please tell us some
beautiful
more
water
about
pool.
this.
So it's just provides a beautiful space to learn and to heal from the inside. And afterwards, you still are here available for private sessions and for healing sessions for those who can't make it for the whole seminar, but want to experience that healing effect of the alignment and want to meet you, Wayne. Uh,
Yes. And that is one of my major passions for sure, is the one-on-one sessions, because I get a chance to, once the trust has been established, dive really deeply into what is hidden. What is hidden? I call them in my book, my latest book, um, Reclaiming Original Innocence.
mm,
I call,
highly recommended. Highly recommended. I just read it through, and it's a source of inspiration.
I call it cherished wounds, because the cherished wounds are wounds that we don't want anybody to touch, that are deeply buried in the recesses of the psyche or the part of the heart that is protecting us from the pain that was caused back then. So in the one-on-one sessions, through this sacred apology, truth dialogue, I can help people lift those markers out and have them um, absolved, diminished to the point where there's a scar and there's a memory, but it's faded without any emotional content. So if one has suffered severe abuse or an accident of some kind, um, and they couldn't process it at the time, it's lodged inside the memory bank. And so I look at this as like a safe deposit box. Like if you go into a bank and you see all those drawers that have keys, and you look in the room and the room is clean, all the drawers are closed, everything is hunky-dory. Well, we can open one of those boxes from an experience they have, unlock it, take out the contents, and close it. So the memory will be there, but the drama that's being stored as the wound has been removed. And so that's what I love about the one-on-one sessions. Even though the massage, we've already talked about all of that, you know.
and that what life provides for us after we take in out the drama, or we learn to dance with the shadows. Uh, so I think this is the newness. This is what life wants to come through us, and what life is asking us to do, to shine our light and to be present, and to and also for me to connect in that light, and not to be single and alone, and to make it all on our own, but to help each other, shine, to feel, and to create with ease, and
That's beautiful. That's really well said, Ananda, because that's exactly what we're doing. We are employing, we are invoking our higher self, our I am presence into that locked box as we open it, to blaze it with enough light that it just disappears. The emotional content has no chance of surviving that much love, right? And then it does clear a lot of energy for creativity.
mm. And then the source, the clearing source of water in the physical body, and the source of light and energy, original, essential energy, um, can come through.
Yes.
So,
And
wow.
that's what we're all about, is being able to be in touch with our immortal self, our infinite self, our I am self, our oversoul, our God self, our the light of our soul, being in touch with that in every moment of our life. It provides us with a very ease and grace ascension while we're still in the body.
Mm, yes.
So our
It's so
consciousness,
yummy, and it's so good to have that body. It's so good to have that body. Yeah.
indeed, our consciousness can witness our human experience rather than engage with it so much emotion. We have the choice.
Right. So what a beautiful, yeah.
Woo!
So yeah, so arms wide open, portals, doors wide open to welcome you here, and to welcome you, and all of you who feel like, oh wow, that's so speaks to me. I want to be in touch with you. So if there are any questions or requests, please reach out, sign up. I'll copy the link of your website so that you can connect with Wayne Kealohi, and have a date, or come to the seminar, or whatever, or just take a flight and go to Glastonbury. Wherever you are, it's just, if you hear the call, trust it, just trust the call.
Oh, I'm so in love with what's happening. Thank you, Ananda.
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah. And now that we have canceled the June training, I just want to make a note that I'll only be in Germany probably for 3 or 4 days after the training.
Okay,
So if people want one-on-ones, it's best to get in touch as soon as possible.
great. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, mahalo nui loa. Mm. And
Yes. Can I just say a chant to close?
of course,
All right. All right, let's all close our eyes and start breathing in from our crown center, from our soul's light, into the belly of our existence, our space of existence here in this body. Deep, full breaths, allowing ourselves to just relax into the comfort of being embraced by our higher self. I'm blessing this training. I'm blessing all those who come forward for healing in private sessions or training. I'm blessing all those who may show up on Saturday, May 20th, for a question and answer meet and greet with myself. Get in touch with Monika for the details. Saturday, May 20th. And I'm blessing all of the Hawaiian spirits who support this work and are showing up for us, with us, as us, to do this healing, to bring the rainbow of love and aloha from Hawaii to Kisslegg, Germany, and heal all those that are coming to be healed. And I send this prayer off with a chant. Ao makua mai kapo aiolo. Ho ikea mai keo. Ao makua mai kapo aiola. Ho ikea mai keo. Ao makua mai kapo aiola. Ho ikea mai keo. A mama ua noa. Lele valiakua. And with this prayer, I blow it off into the grid of infinite possibility. And I deem it manifest already. Okay. Wow. Woo!
E ala e. Ah.
Thank you, Monika.
Thank you so much for your time, and blessings on you and your time in Glastonbury, and blessings on all of you wherever you are at this moment. See you
Very soon.
very soon.
Join us. The water's warm. Jump in.
Yeah, jump on the boat. Okay. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha. Hui ho.